Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Keystroke Live. I'm Jay Restuccia, and today we're going to discuss creating a reports toolbar. This is going to be a session that combines elements of several other previous Keystroke Live meetings. Recently, we've discussed toolbars in general. We've discussed creating saved report settings and automating reports. And we've discussed keystroke macros recently. Today we're kind of going to blend all three of those concepts together into using those tools to create a toolbar specifically for reports. This is going to be most commonly used for or going to be used for your most common reports. It allows you to pre-configure report settings and allow your users to run their most common reports without requiring much user interaction. So we're just going to jump right in here. I'm going to go over to Keystroke. All right, and in Keystroke, I already have a few saved report settings set up, and I thought I had a few more that I just imported.
Hey,
report
Jay,
groups.
before you continue,
Yeah.
Can you maybe mute all?
Sure.
Get some background noise going on.
Mm-hmm. Unmute. I want to unmute just one. Okay, so why won't it? Well, that was somewhat unsuccessful, Nick. I didn't want to mute.
I think you had it right when you hit mute all because you were unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, it muted you. I didn't want to.
Well, that's okay. You can mute me.
Okay. All right. So
now it's probably erroring when you hit the dollar amount. Okay, go finish that sale.
All right, just back to mute.
Finish the sale.
Okay, so we're going to just switch right over to Keystroke here to our report manager, and my report settings did not import successfully this morning. I'll have to review that. So we're going to start fresh with we'll start with creating a new toolbar. Here we are in the report manager. This is in just a quick little process that we've been over several times before. We're going to jump into the report manager, and I'm going to create just a brand new toolbar, nothing fancy whatsoever. This is going to be my reports toolbar. It'll be used to invoke whatever saved report settings I choose. We're going to start simple and small, just a single row at, let's call it 5 columns for now. All right. And here we have a toolbar placed dead in the center of our screen. I don't want it there. I want it down at the bottom of the screen. And I want it to be the full width of the screen also. So I want it all the way over to the left. I want it all the way down towards the bottom of the screen. And I also want to make the width 100% of the screen. Oh, 10%. Okay, so real simple, put a new toolbar in there. I'm going to put some restrictions on this toolbar. I don't need it everywhere, so under all modules, I will leave available and visible blank and for all registers. I'm going to add availability for this toolbar just to the report manager. So, and I don't even want it available on so I'll make it visible and available on all registers just for the report manager. that's all I need to do for now in the toolbar editor, in the touchscreen editor. Back into my report manager, I now have some buttons I can work with. I had a few saved report settings in place, but I'm just going to go ahead and create a couple new settings real quick. Let's start simple. Let's say we want an inventory database cost list. All right, we want to be able to run that inventory database cost. Oh, that is right here. I see a bit of a concern is that I'm not overlaying my screen. I'm going to want to fix that. But we're going to make this just a very simple cost list report to get a total valuation of inventory. Nothing unusual, nothing that everybody already doesn't use. I'll call this It's available on all registers. No security level assigned. Simple. Save report setting. All right. I'm going to put this into a queue. I'll add a new queue here. New. And this is going to be my my cost list. So I'll just put a cost list name. The only report that I'm going to add to this this queue right now is my database cost list. Done. So I've just added a saved report setting to a report queue. Let's add that queue to a button so it's easily accessible when a user wants to run their cost list report. We'll make it simple for them. So edit this button. I'm going to call this button my cost list report, and I think it looks better. Separate it out a little. All right. Use my and here I am editing the button right from within Keystroke. I don't have to switch right back to the touchscreen editor. You can just go right into just right-click a button and edit it from right within Keystroke. So I'm going to assign a macro to this button. We have a macro down here called Run Report. Real simple macro. Run Report, it prompts for a QID, a start, and an end. Okay. Inventory database report is a real-time report. We don't assign a date range to that. It is live. It is up to date as of this moment. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove the start and end. And as I said, it does prompt for a QID. I know that I just created a queue, and it is queue number 3. So I'll assign that now. And again, just to verify, if we go under queue and setup and report groups, there's my cost list report. It is QID number 3. It is what I've specified for my macro. Just click it, starts running that report. All right, and this was just starting from scratch. It only took about 2 minutes to create a saved report setting, create a toolbar, assign that toolbar to assign a report queue to a toolbar button. All right, really simple. I'll review that again, and we'll add a few more reports here. You know what I noticed again was how my screen is not necessarily resizing. Oh, perhaps it is here. I think I'm going to dock this toolbar for just the sake of cosmetic purposes. Docking this toolbar is going to allow me to is going to allow Keystroke to resize the Keystroke screen to accommodate any other windows on screen. Go right back to Edit Toolbars. Select my toolbar. I'm currently fixed. The toolbar is in a fixed position right now. I'm just going to dock it at the bottom, and we'll see slightly different behavior in Keystroke. The screen will resize to accommodate the toolbars. right back in there. Let's say I want to add a few more reports. Cost list report, real common. People want their total cost of inventory. We've just assigned that common report, that very commonly used report, to a toolbar button. Now we don't have to walk a user through going to inventory, going to database. We don't have to review applying all the appropriate parameters that we need for our report. It just does it. The button just runs it with our specifications. Say I want to do a sales transactions report. Users are usually going to want this. Sales invoice summary report. Here I've already got a saved setting for the invoice summary. Really simple little report here, but again, you apply whatever parameters you feel are appropriate or that the user needs. Well, we're going to report on our sales invoices. It's just going to be a summary report, no filters. Just the standard sales transaction form printed to the screen. I don't have much data in this particular data set. I'm going to run this for a wide range. And in fact, I can do it for the whole year to date. Oh, I want to delete that actually. And now, okay. So again, here I get a list of sales transactions year to date, let's say. Rarely are you going to want your users to run such a wide range, or would that be a commonly available report, but you know, it suits for our purposes. So again, in order to automate running a report, that report needs to be included in a report group. I'm going to go ahead and add my sales transactions report to a group. So I'll set up a report group, add a new report group here. I'm going to call this sales transactions and add a saved setting. I'm going to add my sales invoice summary. F10. Now we see I have report group 4 here, QID 4. So let's assign this to a button. And again, I'm just going to edit it from within Keystroke. I don't need to launch the touchscreen editor just to edit a button. It can be done from within the program. And I'm going to call this sales. And again, we go right back to my run report macro. All right. Now, in this case, we're using a date-sensitive report. We're using a sales transactions report for a specific date range. Again, I know my QID is 4. Start, I'm going to use a relative date. I'm going to use -1Y. All right. And I will not apply an end setting. That will default to today for the current date. Real simple, just run it from a button now. Again, this allows us to eliminate the need for the user to actually verify the settings that are being used. It takes the user interaction out of the equation. They're not going to inappropriately apply a filter or a range or any other inappropriate parameters for running the report. We define what report they're going to run. We give them a button, and it's as simple as that. Now, let's say we've got, notice I used the plural here, sales transactions reports. Again, we need to run our saved report settings from a report group. So we don't have to limit ourselves to just a single report in a group. Let's say I need not only my sales invoices, but I want to see my sales orders as well. Well, I create a saved setting for that. And again, to do so, just back up to my sales menu, to transactions. I see my saved report settings. select a report setting. I'm going to make appropriate adjustments here. All right, I'll change that to a sales order and select OK. Or in fact, I'm not going to select OK. I'm going to save the setting by using Shift F10. All right, and this is going to be a sales order summary report. So I'll just modify the name of this report. And I am too compulsive that I must make that capital. And I don't want this report available only to this register. I want to change the register number to 0 for all registers and just OK that. I now have a new saved report setting here on my sales order summary. I'm going to add that report to my report group. So I go back to Queue, set up report groups, and again, this report group I'm working with is my sales transactions group. Already contains the summary. Navigate into the reports area and insert to add a new report. I'm going to add my sales order summary to this report. All right, now from the same toolbar button, which I've aptly named Sales Transactions Report, I can get my sales invoice and sales order summaries. And these are let me move some windows around. So here I have my sales order summary run for the same date and time range. Also have my sales invoice report run for the same range. So again, I'm adding multiple reports to the same toolbar button. Really not a complex process here. Again, this is combining several of the concepts that we've reviewed recently, adding the saved reports or automating saved reports, applying macros, and creating toolbars. So this is kind of putting all three together here so we can provide our users with a feature that again just simplifies things for them. Every user has reports that they're going to run at regular intervals. We can pre-configure those reports for them. We can put them all in an area of their choosing on screen where really all they have to do is click a button. If let's look at some of the more common reports here. The inventory sales analysis. This one is used probably on a daily basis by most users. Let's say I want to get a, let's see, sales by department here. I will go ahead and apply a grouping to my sales analysis report. Really nothing special about this report at all. I'm going to go ahead and run it just as is. Actually, let me save the setting. This will be my inventory sales analysis by department. It'll be a shared setting. I'm going to go ahead and run it. Use the same date and time range just because I'm working with limited data. Have all of my inventory sales by department on this report. And so simple as that. Let's say we want to give the user the ability to apply their own date range. Well, let's give this report its own group also. I'm going to just add my sales analysis by department. And now I have report group 5 in here. Nope, didn't want to edit that. All right. So I will call this button my sales analysis. All right, so again, I have my QID. Again, I'm not going to prompt for a date and time. I believe in this case, that's going to just run for current. So let's go ahead and run that. Okay, so I do get my prompt. So here we allow some interaction. We give them a sales analysis report. We know this sales analysis is by department. That's the setting that we applied. But we want to give them the flexibility to use whatever ranges are appropriate. So select, put in our range. And again, we get the same report. So again, this is really giving, taking some capacity for user error out of the equation. We're again configuring the reports per the user's specification and just saving those settings to be run at any time the user sees fit. Going to go ahead and unmute this session here. Again, I didn't want to complicate this this concept too much, and it is just a melding of similar concepts that we've already discussed. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has regarding the assigning reports to toolbars, creating the toolbar, or creating the reports themselves. Did anyone have any questions about anything we've discussed here? Okay, well, I think we worked through that fairly quickly. Nick, are you still in attendance here?
I'm still here.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me this morning. Again, I hope it was an opportunity for us to combine several of the concepts that we've already discussed and put that to good use in a means that will really benefit the users. Again, if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at tech support, 800-275-4727. You all know how to reach us. We will be back next week on the first Thursday of the month with SBS President Michael Gebb. Again, thank you for attending, and everyone have a great day.